During the stay at home last March, due to the coronavirus, I bought a lot of food in anticipation of staying for a long time without going out. At that time, my 80-year-old mother lived with me. I bought a bag of potatoes. After a while, my mother scolded me, saying, who would eat all this food? Look, the potatoes are starting to sprout. I told her, give me 2 potatoes that have sprouted. I put each one in a pot filled with mud. I placed each of the pots on the balcony. After a few days, something green began to rise from the pot. I went out from the balcony with great joy and said to my mother, come and see, the potatoes have started to sprout a tree. The plant began to rise a little every day until it became a big tree. I called my daughter and told her, I do not know when I will harvest the potatoes. And she told me, wait until the tree gets the roses, then dig and extract the potatoes. I waited until August. The tree began to have beautiful yellow roses, and the balcony became a delight because of the abundance of green and yellow in it. The potato tree meant life to me, and that life goes so on despite all circumstances. In the middle of August, I extracted the potatoes. After I dug the first tree and got 13 small potatoes from it. My sister was beside me when I extracted the potatoes and saw their small size, and she said to me, wait, do not harvest the second potatoes tree. I waited 10 days, and while I was waiting, one day I went out to the balcony to find one potato had risen and become visible. So I took it and cooked it with my food for the day. On the 10th day, I decided that I should harvest the second potato tree. I harvested the second potato tree, and I get 10 very big potatoes. At the end of August, my daughter, who is studying medicine in a country outside Sweden, called me, and she has returned to Sweden in last March 2020 when the coronavirus spread, and she told me that she and her friends will come to eat chicken with me. She said, my friends loves the way you cook chicken. I roasted the 10 potatoes in the oven after putting olive oil on each potato and wrapping each one in a cellophane paper. My daughter and her friends came that day, but they refused to eat inside the apartment. We carried rice, chicken, and potatoes underneath to the garden and sat and ate with joy. The next day, my daughter returned to her studies outside Sweden and began studying at the university as before. But in the middle of October, the coronavirus spread again, and the university closed again, and she returned to study through the computer. The pots were empty, so I decided to plant again, and when I dug in the mud and found more potatoes, I was so happy that I still got potatoes from my planting them last March. So I decided I will plant more potatoes because the trees are beautiful and the flowers are beautiful, and I will get more potatoes from them.